Hey guys, it's your host London Britt. Welcome back to another episode of the GGH Podcast. And if you're new here, girl, stop right there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Yes, you. And make sure you like this video too, okay? Because I gotta help 10 out of 10 recommend help this episode get all over the people's pages, okay? But anyways, if you're not new here, hey girl, hey, and welcome back. So, little quick update. I'm almost done with Matthew, y'all. And it's got me, like, I've been stuck. 26, 27 has me really like, wow. Like, wow. And it's just so good. Like, it really is so good. And I'm just go straight into it. Like, what I'm talking about today is love. It's beautiful and all. It's great. But love is suffering. And we know that because we know our Father sacrificed his one and only Son for us, for our sins, to save the world. He knew that his Son would be the only one to take on this assignment to save the world. That is true love. But look how Jesus had to suffer through that love. So what I'm going to be talking about today is going to be coming from Matthew 26, when Jesus was feeling it, okay? This is after the Last Supper, and he's feeling it. He's filled with grief. Like, he knows, like, that time is coming, you know? And just like us, Jesus has gone through every single emotion that we have gone through. That's why we can relate. He can relate to us so much, and he knows everything that we're going through because he has gone through it too. Everything that you have experienced, trust me, God has experienced the same thing. Temptation, all of the things. Did he fail? No. But did he feel grief? Did he feel distress? Did he feel like, oh my God, the time is coming and I don't want this? Yes, because he was human. But he knew the will of his Father. So regardless of how he was feeling about it all, he knew, this is my Father's will. This is what has to be done. And I'm the one to take this on. Let me put on my big boy pants and get this over with. Like, I could just imagine how he was feeling. But the suffering that Jesus experienced, every time, I'm telling you, I've been stuck in 26 and 27 because just when I read it, I'm just like, I can't get past this. Like, I don't want to even complain no more about being tired and exhausted. And, you know, of course, I'm human, yes, but the suffering that Jesus experienced, it's no words that can explain. That's true love. Like, God loves you so much. For my moms out there, think about it. If you knew in your heart that you had to sacrifice one of your children to save the world, imagine how that would make you feel. To be honest, you probably be like, that's a hard no. I'm not giving up my baby for nothing. Take me. But that wasn't the case. So imagine how God felt. But he knew what would be on the other side of that suffering. He knew what joy his Son would one day bring to the world. He knew how much glory would come from his name. He knew all of this. God is the end all be all. So when we don't understand why we're going through much pain and suffering, I want you to refer to Matthew 26. I'm going to read it. Matthew 26, this is 36 through 46. I'm going to read it to you guys because the goal, if you're new here, the goal of this podcast is to Strengthen your relationship with God, or start your relationship with God. Become a better version of yourself, but go after the woman that God is creating you to be. And along that journey, each step of the way, God is there. Each step of the way, even when it seems like he's not there and you don't see the works that he's doing, he's carrying you through. So don't ever think that he's not there for you. He's not rooting for you. He doesn't love you. He loves you so much. So much. But we don't always understand why our assignment brings on pain and suffering sometimes. There's a season for everything. But I just want to tell you, so those of you who are new to reading the Bible, those of you who are pretty seasoned with the Bible, and those of you who are the OG triple OGs, because every time you read the word, God gives you something new. So if you are somebody in this moment and you feel like, God, can you just let up? Like the pressure is hard right now. You feel like you're in a time where you're suffering and you don't understand why. I want you to go read Matthew 26. And I'm going to start at 36. Matthew chapter 26, verse 36. So this is after the Last Supper with Jesus and his disciples. And he's telling Judas, he said, he didn't say who at first, but he said, one of you are going to betray me. And they're all like, what? And Judas got the nerve, knowing he is the one, got the nerve to say, well, Jesus, am I the one? And Jesus said, you are right, because you know you are. So why you even asking? But yeah, he's telling Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times. Peter's like, what? No way. I'm not doing that. I will die before I deny you 3 times. And Jesus is like, yeah, bro. Okay. You're going to deny me 3 times before the rooster gets to going in the morning. Peter's like, nah, that ain't happening. But what happened? Peter denied him 3 times. What happened? Judas betrayed him. Yeah. But anyways, so this is after the Last Supper, and Jesus is deciding to just makes me like a little emotional, but I'm a thug and I'm not going to cry today. But he pretty much is like, let me go talk to my Father one more time. So he wants to go pray. I don't know if I'm saying this right or wrong. Y'all could correct me in the comments if I am. But listen, your girl's still learning. But it's pronounced, to me, Gethsemane. I could be saying it wrong. It's spelled Gethsemane. We all learning it together, okay? Like, don't judge me. But no. So he wants to go talk to his Father one more time. He's like, let me have some quiet time. Let me go pray. He asks Peter, John, and who else? James. He asks Peter, John, and James to come up with him. He wants them to watch over him while he goes over and prays, right? So he says, just watch over me. I'm going to go pray. I'm going to go do my thing. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Watch over me. Because he knows Judas is about to betray him. He knows it's about that time. He knows at any point in time, these people finna pull up on me and it is going to be go time. Like, he knows that. So he's asking him like, yo, let me just go over here and pray. Can y'all watch my back? They couldn't even do that, y'all. They couldn't even do that. And I ain't judging. But I'm just like, yo, like, Jesus, he's really that guy. I'm going to just say that. He's really that guy. He is, thoughts are not like ours. His actions sure ain't either, baby. But yeah, so pretty much they fall asleep. He comes over to them. So he's like, yo, you can't even stay up an hour? Like, for real? They like, aye, we up. I'm picturing it how, like, I'm saying it how I'm picturing it. They like, we up, we good, we got you. He goes back. Now, every time he's going, his prayer to God is, please take this cup of suffering away from me. I don't want it. Take it from me, Lord. Please. But if this is your will, then it will be done. 3 times he prayed this prayer. And every time he went over, they fell asleep. So imagine how he feels in this moment. He's already feeling so much grief because he knows that time is coming. He feels like, okay, like I can't even depend on y'all to watch over me while I pray my last prayer to my Father, kind of, sort of. So imagine how he's feeling in this moment. That's why I said his actions ain't like ours and his thoughts are not like ours. Because baby, I would have been blacking on him. Like, are y'all dead? Excuse me. Are y'all dead serious? Y'all can't even watch over me while I go ahead and pray? Are you serious? I have to ask you 3 times? Just forget it. Go. Like, but anyways, let me read it to y'all. Right here. Good old book of Matthew, 26. All right. Chapter 26, verse 36. I'm going to read 36 to 44. Excuse me. Sorry. So, Jesus prays in Gethsemane. Hope that's right. Then Jesus went with them to the olive grove called Gethsemane, and he said, "Sit here while I go over there to pray." He took Peter and Zebedee's, don't know if I'm saying that right either, 2 sons, James and John, and he became anguished and distressed. He's feeling it, y'all. He knows the time is coming, and his heart is heavy. He told them, "My soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." He went on a little further and bowed with his face to the ground, praying. You know, when your face is bowed down to the ground and you praying hard, you know that prayer. Like, I'm weeping and sobbing and I'm going crazy. So you know how he was feeling in this moment. And he says, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine." Then he returned to the disciples and found them asleep. He said to Peter, "Couldn't you watch with me even 1 hour? Keep watch and pray, so that you will not give into temptation. For the spirit is willing, but the body is weak." Then Jesus left them for a second time and prayed, "My Father, if this cup cannot be taken away unless I drink it, your will be done." So he's saying, if your will can't be done no other way, I'm going to take this on. But if it can, you can give this over expeditiously. When he returned to them again, he found them sleeping, for they couldn't keep their eyes open. I'd be pissed. So he went to pray a 3rd time, saying the same things again. Then he came to the disciples and said, "Go ahead and sleep. Have your rest. But look, the time has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Up, let's be going. Look, my betrayer is here." And we know that's Judas. But I'm going to stop right there, and I'm just going to dive right in. So when I read this, I was like, yo, anytime I question God on why he's doing the things he's doing, I always feel like I'm questioning you, but I feel like I know the answer. Have you ever experienced that? Or have you ever felt that? Like, you're questioning him, like, why am I going through this? Why am I going through this? Why am I going through that? Why did you choose me? I'm not your strongest soldier. And then you really sit back and you're like, yo, I know the answer. Like, I know what you have for me. I know what you assigned to me. I know what you need me to do, but it's hard. So immediately I felt convicted, because I'm like, yo, I'm juggling so much at once right now, and I'm not going to hold y'all. I am tired. Like, I started working out. I go to the gym now, only on the weekends because during the week it's just too hectic. But I do want to eventually add 1 day during the week. But I go to the gym. I'm working. Work is crazy, but work is a good crazy. Like, I'm excited to go to work every day, but I'm constantly busy moving around all day. At work, he has people, he has me on assignment for people at my job. There's somebody I actually had a conversation with her last week, and she said to me, she said, I'm not an atheist or anything, but I just don't believe. She said, I'm not a believer. She said, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, that there's just one person that did everything, that put us here, that created the earth. Like, she's just like, it doesn't make sense to me. And before this conversation, God told me that she was going to be somebody that I would have to introduce him to in a different way. So when she finally kind of sparked the conversation, because I've been planting seeds a little bit here and there, but when she started that conversation, God was like, light bulb, this is the moment. So I had just read this morning too. So it was just like fresh on the brain. And I said, thank you for sharing that, number one. And number two, I said, I get that. And I said, what I think you need to focus on more, instead of trying to understand the whole concept, I said, I want to challenge you to open up your heart to receive God, open up your mind, be open-minded. I said, and let him show up for you in a way where you're only going to know that it's him. But before you do that, you have to open up your heart. You can't be guarded. You have to open up your heart, and he will show you. And then she was like, well, what if he showed me already? I said, he might have. But today is a new day. Open up your heart, be mindful, and let him in. Let him in, and I promise you, he's going to show you that he's real. I said, me personally, I shared testimonies with her, and I shared things with my kids that, God has spoken to me about, and I never said anything to my kids. And then my kids blurted out, and I'm like, that can only be God. Like, for example, with Halloween, last year, felt this heavy spirit that I don't want to celebrate Halloween anymore. And I'm talking to God about it, and I'm like, yo, like, how I'm explaining this to Ocean. He loves it, like going to get the candy and being with his cousins, whatever. And I kid you not, the boy said out of his mouth, God, we were doing our prayer in the morning. He said, God, I know you don't like Halloween. I know that's the devil's decoration. I'm not going to celebrate no more. You can't tell me God is not real. And I say nothing to that boy. You hear me? And I say nothing to him about not celebrating Halloween. That came from his mouth. And I said to him, I said, Ocean, what made you say that? And he said, God told me. Period. That's it, baby. I ain't answering no more questions. But I shared that with her, and she was like, really? And I said, yes. I said, I get why you thinking the way you thinking. But I said, me personally, God showed up in my life too many times and still does to this day. But I said, he showed up for me too many times where I know it's only him. So that's why I believe. I said, and once I started building a relationship with him, not just, oh yeah, mark this off, went to church. Oh yeah, mark this off, prayed this morning. No, building a relationship with him, talking to him, spending time with him, letting him speak back to me. That's when our relationship and bond grew stronger. I said, so you're going to have to open up your heart and allow him to show up in a way where you know it's only him. And that's where it begins. But I said, guess what? This was the first step for you to even ask and inquire and want to learn more and want to read the Bible and want to learn about scriptures. I said, he sees that. And now that he has a way where he can creep in, let him do his thing. Let him do his thing. So she was like, thank you so much. And, I really needed this conversation, blah, blah, blah. So I think it was the next day, maybe, I wrote her like a little note on a sticky note, and I left it on her desk because she comes in later than me. I forgot what I said, but I said something like, I don't want to put too much on people, but it was just something that was on my heart. And I was like, hey, I hope you have a great day today. I said the fact that you woke up this morning, you opened your eyes, you took your first breath when you woke up, that is a gift from God. That is a gift from God. He gave you another day. So I said, just say thank you, be grateful, and know in your heart that's one sign that he loves you so much because he gave you another day to wake up. You woke up in your right mind. Like, pretty much that's what I said in the gist of what I said. Can't put too much on a sticky note, but that is the gist of what I said. But right there, another seed planted. So I say this to say, we go through suffering. I may be exhausted. I may be mentally tired. I may be physically tired. I'm not spiritually tired though. I am on 10 when it comes to spiritual health. I'm like on it. I'm yearning for more. I'm trying to learn more. I'm trying to intentionally study the word, learn the word, use the word, because I know that he is using me to introduce the word to others. So if I know that's a part of my assignment, I have to make sure I study. I have to make sure I stay on top of everybody in the Bible study group because he has me creating disciples. I can't do that if I'm not in my word. So yes, I am tired. My kids be working my last nerve. I could give you a list of things. Do I feel like I'm suffering in this season? No. Do I feel like he's pressing harder and harder and harder and pushing me? Yes. But it's all about the way you look at things. It's all about the shift. It's all about the shift in your perspective. From that quick negative thought, you can shift it into a positive. So that pain and suffering that you're feeling, baby, don't question it. Don't question it because it's a part of your assignment. It is a part of your testimony. It's a part of the reason why you will one day be able to share your story. You will one day be able to plant seeds. You will one day be able to pour into other people who are going through what you've been through, who have been through what you've been through. And it's not just you. And it will all make sense one day. I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm not saying next week. Because this woman that you see right here went through a lot of pain and suffering. But guess what? A part of that was for this, the Go Get Her podcast. You could not tell me 3 years ago that I would have a podcast, that I would be on YouTube reading the Bible, trying to educate people. What? You couldn't tell me that. But the pain and suffering that I pushed through and I endured and I was resilient, look at what's on the other side of that. So just remember, it's building your character. It's pushing you to become the woman that God created you to be because he knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. He knew the plans that he had for your life. He knew everything that you want to go through in every single season of your life. But guess what? He knows what's on the other side of that. So when we go through pain and suffering, it's important for us to push through. And I'm not saying it's easy. Do not take this as I'm saying it's easy because it is not. It is not easy at all, but you can do it. But you can do it. My friend Tiffany, she shared this with me today. We were talking about something that I'm struggling with. And she said, you being obedient is going to create discipline in you that you didn't even know you had. It's going to show you that you are stronger than what you are giving yourself credit for. And that really helped me because it is when we lean on God, when we are weak, he shows us how strong we are. He really, really does. So when you're going through pain and suffering, lean on God, lean on your village, but talk to your Father. He will make it all make sense. And like I said, it might not be immediately in that moment, but sometimes it will. But that's depending on your relationship and how you guys communicate. But it'll build your character. It'll build you to become the woman that he created you to be. It'll fulfill everything that he has for your life. I am telling you, you have a purpose. You have a calling. I don't know what it is. You might not know what it is, but that's why you have to spend time with God so you can figure that out. And he will show you and he will give you the answers. Do you think that he prayed that prayer 3 times for nothing? He was feeling it, y'all. Jesus himself was like, God, Father, my Father, if I am not the one that has to do this, take it away now. But if it is your will, and if I'm the one that has to drink from this cup of suffering, then it be done. I don't know about you, but baby, if I knew that my time was coming and people was coming to kill me, I'll be weeping and praying all day, face to the floor, all day. Like, God, please, no, please, 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 please. Not me, not me. You know, like, just imagine how he felt. He said it. He said it. My soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. Imagine the pain he felt, knowing that his time is coming, but he knew that his Father's purpose was greater than anything else in this moment. Anything else. So we have to be strong. We have to push through. We have to endure. If things are not going right in your friendship, your marriage, your relationship at work, with your children, you feel like you're not the best mom, all those thoughts, throw them out the window. Love is suffering. So marriage is not easy. Well, excuse me, I'm not married, so I can't say really, but I know it's not easy. Marriage is not going to be easy. Relationships are not easy. Even though you love your babies, your children, motherhood, being a parent, it's not easy. Love is suffering. You want love? Plan to suffer too. Because it's not all glitter and gold. It's not. It takes communication. What was he doing? Communicating to his Father. Regardless of the outcome, he communicated. Communication is important. Spending time with your Father is important. Lean on him. Lean on him. I feel like in this moment, even though God knew what his son was asking for, and he's probably looking down like, I'm sorry, bruh. It's got to be you. But I'm sure he was just hugging him and just giving him reassurance that I'm going to get you through this. You are going to go through pain and suffering. You are going to endure some terrible things. I mean, every time I read it, it just hurts my heart, but I'm going to read it so y'all can really get it. Seriously, y'all, like, getting your word for real, for real. Where was I reading this morning? Like, the whole daggone book is literally like highlighted. Like, hold on, y'all. Okay, so this morning, so this is 27. So this morning, I was reading about when Jesus' trial, like he was on trial before Pilate. And I hope I'm saying that right too. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to educate y'all, but I'm still learning too. So don't judge. But pretty much like Pilate was just like, why am I arresting this man? Like, what did he do? And they could not even give him an answer. Like, the leading priests and the elders, they're persuading the crowd. They're persuading the crowd to pretty much like say, crucify him, kill him, put him to death. And even in this moment, Jesus had nothing to say. So when people talk about you, people throw dirt on your name, people lie on you, that's suffering. That is suffering. Some people really, really take that to heart because they care about you, care about what other people think of you, what other people say of you, how they're going to mess up your reputation and things of that nature. Worry about your reputation with God. Jesus, in this point, these people are like, crucify him, kill him, blah, blah, blah. He's not saying nothing. He's not saying nothing because he knows what his father thinks of him. He knows that his father loves him. He knows that, listen, this is my assignment. This is what my father sent me here to do. Y'all say what y'all got to say. Say what y'all got to say. I'm not saying he didn't feel away. What I'm saying is he did not even say nothing. He did not even entertain it because he knew what his purpose was in this moment. He knew that his time has come. What's the point of arguing with these people? I already know I'm finna die. Like, you know? But the crowd shouted back, Barabbas. I think that, oh yes, this is when Pilate was saying, like, you know, I always let one prisoner go. And it's either Jesus or him. And they like, Barabbas, Barabbas. And Pilate responded, then what should I do with Jesus, who is called the Messiah? They shouted back, crucify him. Why? Pilate demanded. What crime has he committed? But the mob roared even louder, crucify him. Pilate saw that he wasn't getting anywhere and that a riot was developing, so he sent for a bowl of water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, I am innocent of this man's blood. The responsibility is yours. But it's on YouTube, Pilate. But anyway, this is Matthew chapter 27, and what I was just reading is verse 22 to 24. Just for your reference, because I know you're going to go read your Bible, right? I know you're going to go read your word, right? But yeah, I got one more chapter to read in Matthew, and then I'm done, and I'm moving on to Luke. But yeah, this really got me all the way together, and I was just like, yo, love is suffering. Like, Jesus had to suffer for me and you, sis. Like, just imagine if he didn't. Imagine if he didn't. Child. I was thinking about that today. Like, where would I be? And I was just thinking about all the things I've done in the past, the people who I've let have access to my body, and just like, I should have been dead. I really should have been dead. I should not be here right now. Talking to you. You shouldn't be here right now watching me. Like, seriously, the suffering that he endured was for a purpose, a greater purpose than any of us could even understand. And he knew that. He did pray to his father. Listen, the time is coming, and before I come, I just want to say to you, like, if it ain't gotta be me, you know, I'm good off this. You could go ahead and take this. If I don't have to suffer, you can go ahead and take this on and let somebody else drink from this cup. But if I do, it is your will and it will be done. So I want you guys to have that same attitude like Jesus. We all need to have that same attitude like Jesus. Lord, I don't know why you have me going through this. I don't understand in this moment. It doesn't make sense in this moment, but I know that you have a greater plan. I know that your purpose is going to be fulfilled. I know that on the other side of this, it will bring glory to your name. I know that on the other side of this, it will build your kingdom. I know on the other side of this, I can plant seeds in people's lives and people that don't believe in you, people that don't understand you, people who want to get to know you but don't know how to. I know that one day you will use me in a way that I can't understand right now. And Lord, just help my will align with yours. That's my prayer 24/7. Help my will align with yours. Because it's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It is a narrow path. Many are called, but few are chosen. God does not want us to be perfect. He does not want us to be perfect, but he created us for a reason. He created us for a purpose. And I promise you, just continue to lean on him and he will give you the answers. I'm getting emotional because it's just so real. is so real. You don't understand how much he loves you. He gave his only son to suffer. They spit in his face. They abused him. They put a crown of thorns on his head. Imagine all of that pain and suffering he endured. He has to carry his own cross. Pain, screws in his hands, stretched his arms, stretched his limbs, and hung him on the cross for me and you. So, sis, if you don't take away anything from this episode today, please, 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 please know that God loves you so much. God loves you so much. And not that he wants you to suffer, but he knows what's on the other side of that. He knows what's on the other side of that pain. Use your pain for your purpose. Push through. Endure. Do not give up on yourself. But most importantly, do not give up on God, because he will never give up on you. And I know that's cliche, but it's so true. It's here. So again, get in your word. Look at my book, y'all. I ain't get there yet. But like, I really be like highlighting the whole daggone thing, because everything just be like getting at me. Sorry. But for real. Get in your word. Get in your bag, your big bag. Like, for real. Like, the state of the country right now, the state of the world, it's getting real. And when Jesus returns, I want him to take me with him up to them pearly gates, baby. And when I get there, I want God to say, job well done. Doesn't want us to be perfect, but he wants us to be obedient. He knows the end all and the be all. So when you fall short, don't stray away. Don't stray away. Come closer. Let him pat you on the back and say, I know, my daughter. I know. This is why I sacrificed my son for this moment right here. But keep coming to me, and I will keep helping you. I will keep pushing you. I will keep picking you up when you fall. Keep coming to me. He loves us that much. I don't know about y'all, but I don't got nobody in my life that I could keep saying sorry to and they gonna forgive me. Nobody. But my Father does. He forgives me. He loves me. And he loves you too. So keep pushing. You will get on the other side of the pain. And you will use your pain for your purpose. And all the glory will go to God. I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what's on the other side of your journey. Your journey through the tough seasons. But don't just lean on him in the tough seasons. Lean on him in the good too. The good, the bad, the ugly, the bad, the sad, the crap, all of that. Put him first. He needs to be the foundation. And you'll see the fruits of your labor. Y'all almost had me. Almost cried, but I didn't. Y'all almost had you, girl. But not for real. It just gets me emotional every time, because I'm just like, yo, like, that's real love right there. Like, your son suffered hard for us. And he took it like a G. Like, even though he prayed, like, listen, Father, you hear me out here? He prayed that prayer because he's human and he's normal, and he felt like the heaviness about to die. But guess what? On the third day, he rose again, baby. Yeah, God is just so real. But I'm not here for a long time, here for a good time. Make sure you tune in to the Go Get Her podcast. I love you guys so much. So much. And if you're still here watching, Thank you so much. I love you. And if you're listening, because we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. So if you're listening, thank you so much for listening. But if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. And I can't wait to see you back in a week and a half. Right now, we're doing every other week, y'all, okay? Because, yeah, your girl's trying to get a balance. But right now, we're going to do every other week. But I love you, and I'll see you soon. Take care, ladies.